Hello, Ilana here from the Bureau with your national weather forecast for tomorrow, Thursday the 11th of June. If we take a look across the country, we can see that a moisture-laden cloud band and trough will be approaching the west coast of Western Australia from the Indian Ocean, bringing enhanced rainfall and storms all the way from the Western Pilbara and down towards the southwest, with the heaviest falls tomorrow expected around the Gascoyne. Now, on the opposite end of the country, we continue to have this trough bringing some rain and storms through inland parts of southern Queensland and northern New South Wales. However, that system is on more of a weakening trend. And through the southeast of the country, this high pressure ridge means generally settled conditions, just some isolated shower activity through the south and east of Victoria, as well as through parts of western Tasmania. So now let's take a look at each state, and we'll start in Queensland, where this trough continues to bring an area of rain and storms through inland parts of the south. However, we are generally on an easing trend tomorrow as this system tracks towards the east. We continue to see this onshore easterly flow, which will bring some isolated to scattered showers across much of the Queensland coast. That does include for Brisbane tomorrow, which could see some isolated light shower activity and a top of 23 degrees. However, further out west in the state, much more settled and dry conditions. For New South Wales tomorrow, this trough extends into northern inland parts, bringing rain and thunderstorms. Now, that shower activity will extend to the northeast throughout the day as the system continues to move east, generally on more of an easing trend. Now, we also have a trough moving up through southern parts of the coast tomorrow, bringing with it some shower activity as well as a southerly change up the coast. Now, that will reach Sydney, bringing some showers and possible isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening, and Sydney will see a top of 21 tomorrow. Further out through much of the west of the state, it is looking like a dry day, and that includes for Canberra, which will see partly cloudy conditions and a top of 17. Victoria will see a mostly settled day in the west with this high pressure ridge. Some morning fog and then dry and clear conditions. However, through the south and the east, we're still looking at some lingering isolated showers, clearing later in the day. Melbourne itself could see a very early morning shower, then drying up with a top of 17. It will be a mostly dry day across much of Tasmania. Some morning frost is possible inland, then just some isolated showers, mainly about the west coast. Hobart tomorrow will be partly cloudy with a top of 15 degrees, and similarly, Launceston will see partly cloudy conditions and a top of 15. For South Australia, generally a dry day for much of the state, apart from some isolated showers through the southwest, west of about Ceduna. Now, South Australia is continuing to see this period of prolonged, warmer than average daytime and nighttime temperatures, particularly through inland parts. Further south, though, for Adelaide, we could see some morning fog through northern parts, and then a partly cloudy day and a top of 20 degrees. Now, through Western Australia, we have this significant cloud band bringing a lot of moisture in with this trough ahead of a cold front moving through later in the day. Now, that's going to bring some rain and storms extending all the way from the Western Pilbara and all the way down through the southwest. Now, tomorrow, the heaviest falls are expected through the Gascoyne and Central West. In those areas, we could see some severe thunderstorms with heavy falls. Now, this is quite unseasonable rainfall for this area, so we're asking travellers in the area to be aware of these conditions and stay up to date with our forecasts and warnings. For Perth, it's going to be a rainy day, particularly from later in the morning, and a top of just 17 degrees. Up in the Territory, a mostly dry day, apart from some isolated showers in the northeast Arnhem District. For Darwin, another typical dry season day, 22 tomorrow morning, followed by sunny and 33. And Alice Springs will see a sunny day with a top of 27. That's all for our national weather forecast. If you'd like some more information, please visit us at the Bureau's website, app, or social media. Thanks for watching. See you next time.